Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about living in Mexico on a $525 budget. And yes, that is with today's current exchange rate, which of course might change in the future when you watch this video. But for the current exchange rate, which is hovering somewhere around 17 pesos to the dollar. All right, so we decided to go with that exchange rate so that way it can help you make a decision for the future. So what I decided to do for today's episode is that I decided to take a little trip down memory lane and just kind of go over what my expenses were, back when I first moved here as a single guy on a very tight budget, just trying to make it, just trying to survive, combined with, the increase in price. And then on top of that, with a bunch of tips and tricks and all kinds of knowledge that I've learned in all the years that I've been here. So again, for some of you guys that don't know my full story, I came out here a little over 5.5 years ago, and I came out here basically with only $1,500 US left to my name, after I bought the plane ticket and paid for the Airbnb. So let's just say 2,500 total. By the time I got here, 1,500 left to my name, and I had no idea what to do and how to survive. I just figured, hey, I know Spanish. I know the cost of living out here is cheaper. I was already doing online gigs because, I used to, edit videos professionally and, just do things like that online. So I used to get clients online. And so I figured, whatever, I'm a little bit of a freelancer. I think I can make it. Whatever, let's do it. And so I came out here, and by the time I, stepped foot into my Airbnb, again, I started out with $1,500, and a month into my journey, I already found an apartment, and that apartment was 3,500 pesos, okay, for rent. So as you guys can see from that footage, that is what I was able to get back in the day for 3,500 pesos, okay? And at 3,500 pesos is the current price of that place right now. That place is already rented out by a friend of mine, but just so you can get an idea of what is still available and what's available out there. Now, it was fully furnished, okay? So that's why, again, 3,500 pesos, fully furnished, and I still had to pay for certain things, certain utilities like the power, internet, cell phone, water, food. So we're going to go over all that with the increase in price, okay? The 20% increase in price due to the dollar exchange. And in some cases, where applicable, some things gone up in price with inflation, such as food. So again, I made the calculations, to make it easier for everyone in the audience, can figure out what things cost right now and how you can budget for yourself in the future when you come out here. And not just telling you about the cost of living, I'm also going to give you a solution as to how you can even earn some money and just give you, again, the full package. That's what we try to do here on this channel. All right, me and Lambo, we sit out here in the laboratory, all day, every day, just trying to figure out, the best videos to make for you guys, with the best information and just everything in general. And I hope you guys are liking everything that you're seeing so far. If you are, you already know what to do. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And check out the rest of the channel. Check out the website. I got tons of free information on the website. I haven't been promoting my website enough. Okay, so as you guys can see here, rent. Okay, with today's current increase, all right, with inflation and the dollar decrease, rent is $197. Okay, that's it. We're doing everything in US dollars. Okay, but we're going to be doing, again, prices when applicable in pesos as well. So rent, I know, was 3,500 pesos. It's still the same rent, and again, today's exchange rate is around $197. All right. Now the power, all right, which is, the light bill, that's something that you have to pay. That you might be lucky, like he's lucky, and he was, at that place, or the place that I'm showing you, or I showed you in the video here. And that place, comes with certain things that are already paid for. Like the trash service is paid for, the water service is paid for, but you still have to pay for certain other things, like the power, most likely, always. You got to pay for power. In that place, also gas was free, so we got lucky there. So how much is it for power? It's 60 US dollars, all right? How much is it for internet? Well, again, with today's increase, all right, I'm paying 580 pesos. You might be able to get something cheaper, but no, let's just go with 580 pesos, which translates to $32, okay? The cell phone, again, cell phone is still the same price, 200 pesos, but today it's $12. It used to be $10 or less. The water. So this is the water that you drink on a daily basis, the one that comes in a big jugs, okay? So that comes around to $18 a month, okay? And then for food, it was a big food increase, all right? Back when I did my original assessment when I first moved here, I was spending, again, eating beans, eating eggs, having a budget, a very tight $5 a day budget, okay? And not just for food. That was food, soap, toiletries, so on and so forth. Again, as a single guy, you don't need much, but still $5 a day, which again, today with the increase in price and inflation and things like that, it doesn't go as far. Your dollar's not going as far. Some things went up in price because inflation, so on and so forth. So when you combine all that and you add all that up, it's $524. So, 525, whatever. All right. So $525 for all of your basics. I mean, come on, that's amazing. That's rent, water, food, internet, your cell phone. I mean, come on, everything you want, everything you need is paid for $525. All right. So now the question is, how are you going to get that $525? There's a lot of people out there that don't even have a job. Bruh. Or, well, maybe have a job now. You're probably working at some really crappy job, but you're thinking to yourself, well, what kind of job can I get? Well, we've discussed in previous videos, which I'll link at the end of this one. And again, I'll provide more links. And again, check out my website for more information. Links to, job sites, okay? Just basics, or job opportunities. I've talked about them in several videos, but let's just go with Cambly at this point. And there's a few others out there. I just can't think of them at the moment because I'm recording and I don't want to be, looking around. But long story short, you can just teach English, all right? And the requirements to teach English are nothing. Basically, do you speak the English? Yes. All right. Do you have an accent? Great. Okay, that's it. And then you just kind of, learn on the go. Because from what I understand, it's basically all you do is teach. All you're doing is having conversations with somebody else. So, you'll just have somebody pop up from Japan or China, whatever, and then they'll talk to you and you talk to them. And that's it, and you'll probably, they probably give you topics to talk about, but that's basically it, okay? And let's just, that's just one job that you can do. You can do multiple things. There's multiple opportunities out there. Again, it's your job to find a good job, okay? Not mine, okay? It's yours, all right? There's a gazillion jobs out there. You just got to dig and find, okay? Not just, what I'm providing, but there's other opportunities out there, okay? So with that said, okay? Let's say you're teaching English, all right? And you're getting paid $10 an hour, okay? $10 an hour to do this, all right? Let's just say that you work 15 hours a week. I mean, come on, give me a break. That's all you got to do. 15 hours a week. And if you do 15 hours a week for 4 weeks in a row, all right, that equals $600 US. Wait a minute, Jose, I thought you said it was a $525 budget. Well, guess what? I surprised you because I know some of you guys out there want to have some fun and have some libations. You might want to take the bus or an Uber. You might want to have a drink or two or go on a date. I don't know, whatever. You might want to go to the beach. You might have some other expenses, right? And that's where, you working a little extra, okay? The 15 hours a week, all right, to get you that $600, all right, in order to pay for your bare minimum, all right? And that includes everything, all right? And so, obviously, if you go and on ahead and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to work 20 hours a week. I'm going to work 25 hours a week. Hell, I'll do 40 hours a week. Think about how much you'll be able to make, all right, and how much you'll be able to save and how much you'll be able to really thrive out here. Now, again, you can just start by teaching English. Maybe you already have another gig, another job, another something. Look, That was my secret, okay? That's the thing. When I came out here, I honestly, I just didn't want to go back to working for the man. That's it. I just didn't want to do that no more. And so I just, wanted to do something, and I wanted to do something different. And I was having fun and enjoying making YouTube videos, all right? Even though they weren't about living in Mexico yet. So when I came to Mexico, the idea was, hey, I want to just make videos. And well, I'm here living in Mexico. I'll make videos about this. And so I made, that, in a sense, my real job. And so what I had to do is that I had to make money in order to pay for my bills. And again, my bills were, let's just say, $525 a month. All right. So I had my gigs, the gigs, again, I would edit videos. I would do freelance work. I didn't teach English. I didn't do any of that. I'd never done that. I always did freelance work. Okay. And then slowly but surely, eventually there was a little money here and there trickling in from the channel, from what I really wanted to do. And then eventually now this pays for everything and I don't have to do any jobs or gigs or anything like that. But again, it's only because this is what I wanted to do. And again, I make more money besides, just on the ads. I make money from consulting and helping you guys out. I make money from, so many other, avenues. But what I'm trying to point out, the thing I'm trying to get at is that what I really wanted, all I really wanted was just some freedom. And I wanted to, be able to support myself, work for myself, figure it out. And so I was able to do that in Mexico. And so you can do that as well. You can, again, before you come to Mexico, you can get yourself an online job, figure it out, okay? Once you're already working for that job, a week, and you already kind of figure it out, you already got your first deposit, whatever, it's all gravy, baby. Then you start planning on leaving Target, McDonald's, or whatever you're working at, Dunder Mifflin.
You're fired.
Whenever you're done working, wherever you're done, you know what I mean? And you don't want to just live there anymore. You don't want to do that no more. You have a way out, okay? And again, it doesn't have to be Mexico. It can be other places. From what I hear, there are tons of other places out there that are cheaper than Mexico, okay? They're just further out in other parts of the world, and the internet might not be as good. But I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't live there. I live here, and I love it here. It's great. It's awesome. For me, and for my donkey, and for my Mexican wife, and for my dog, and for the life that I have here, I love it. It's amazing. It's something that I never was able to get in the USA, even though I've done it all. I've done it all, but it never worked out. And you guys know, just what you're watching this video. That's what you're still watching right now. You know what I mean? There's just so many reasons and as to why these things are the way they are. And at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I found my happiness here. But there's other countries out there, so don't limit yourself, all right? You got to just go to where you're treated best. And that's it, all right? Don't even think about any other thing, all right? So wherever that is, all right? And I just happen to live in Mexico, and these just happen to be my expenses living here in Mérida, which when I first moved here was the cheapest city in Mexico, or one of the cheapest, and now it's one of the most expensive cities, and I'm still here. Yeah, there's plenty of people that complain and say they spend too much and they got to go home.
Halfway.
I'm still here kicking. You know what I mean? I'm still doing good. And I've shared with you guys, in other videos and other episodes, what my expenses are today. All right. Again, now that I have a house and I got a family, no kids, but still, whatever. It's more than one mouth to feed. I'm looking at you, bro. Anyways, the point I'm making is that, my budget is still, $1,000. You know what I mean? $1,000-something. It's not crazy. And this budget that I'm giving you guys of $525, that's just the bare minimum. The reality is that, again, as, things were getting better for me, while living in Mexico, obviously, my budget increased and I was able to spend more, have more fun, enjoy more. I was able to, again, produce more better videos for you guys and so on and so forth. Okay. Because that's another thing too. You think these car rides are cheap? No. You know what I mean?
Bruh.
You think, this equipment is cheap? No, it's not. You know what I mean? It still costs money. This costs money. But what the point I'm making is that, any one of you guys can come out here start off with whatever, crap job, whatever thing you can find out there. And again, teaching English, if that's what it is. And then from there, you'll be able to find your dream, you know what I mean? Or pursue your dream. Your dream might just simply be playing guitar, and you just don't have the time to dedicate to play guitar, record, do all the things that you do, all right? And the same thing goes with anyone else, with anything, all right? So that's what I always mean about that freedom, where you can come out here and you can just do the bare minimum of work to get that money to pay for your bills, and then really, really be able to work and hone in on your craft or whatever it is you want to do with your life. And then eventually that will bring you money, and hopefully eventually be able to pay for your expenses, and you don't have to do those gigs that you don't want to do anymore. And it's as simple as that. And so, in my case, I just wanted to do YouTube videos. I focus on not just talking about Mexico. This is what I'm just more focused on at the moment. But, I've done cooking videos. I had a regular channel with, just vlogs and so many other things. You know what I mean? Like, I've done so much. I used to talk about, well, anyways, all the things that are going on now, that are making so many people want to move out here and seek freedom. I was talking about all that many years ago, which again was the reason why I came out here over 5 years ago. And yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, right now, this is the one for me, in my opinion, being abroad, leaving the US or Canada or, many parts of Europe, and just going to another part of the world that's a lot more peaceful, okay? And a lot more free, is something a lot of people are looking for these days. And, sometimes, not everybody has, a big retirement budget. Not everybody was fortunate enough to make, an amount of money where they were able to, again, just come out here or just move out of the U.S. and just be able to set up shop very easily. There's a lot of people that worked very hard, sacrificed a lot, for this country, for the U.S., and yet they sit out here and they don't have anything to show for it, which is kind of horrible. And I was one of those people. A lot of you guys in the audience are some of those people. Again, gave it your all, gave it everything, all right, and still have nothing to show for it. So, there are solutions, for people out there that, again, have hit rock bottom, not because of your fault, you know what I mean? Or again, you're all the way, in a really bad, situation, again, not to your fault. And there is a way, to get to that freedom. Now, there's a big caveat here. You got to work very hard. This is not easy at all right? Not easy. Even though I make it look easy, and there's other YouTubers out there that might make it look easy, none of this is easy, okay? It is very hard. It takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, to have this freedom and live this life, all right? So that's the thing. That's a big key here, and a big misconception that a lot of people have, where they just think everything's just going to be easy. No, it's not. When you come to Mexico, when you live abroad, many things get turned into easy mode, but many other things go into extreme difficulty mode, okay? Extreme hard mode. And so you got to just be prepared for that. So, if you're one of those people that has, dealt with a lot of adversity in your life, it should be an easy transition. It should be really, really fun and a great and awesome adventure. Because out here, as you keep that sacrifice, and you might be paycheck to paycheck or whatever it is, eventually you're going to see that growth. You're going to see, you're going to be able to really succeed and make something out of yourself instead of just have no hope, okay, for lack of a better term, or lack of a better description. But at the end of the day, can you live out here, for around $600? Yeah. Now, does everyone want to do that? No. That's why, I get, all kinds of messages, on this topic, as to whether or not, they're going to be able to make it on their Social Security or not. Well, again, it really all depends on you, okay? If you are, if you're already used to living a hard life, then yes, it'll be easy. But if you're not, then it's going to be a very difficult adjustment for you. Now, like I said, all you really need to do, okay, if you're not on retirement, you don't have a pension or any kind of check, you don't have anything, you're just coming out here with zero, is just figure out a way, okay, to make minimum, $150 US a week. Now, again, the more you make, the more comfortable you'll be. I really recommend that you're making at least $250 a week. You know what I mean? To tell you the truth, because there's a lot of unforeseen expenses, and you're not going to just want to be in your home all day, because that's just the truth. You know what I mean? You're going to want to go out, explore, do things, have fun, go on dates, hang out with friends. There's a zillion things that you want to do. So if you come out here, with being able to make around 250 US dollars, all right, a week, that's again $10 an hour, 25 hours a week. I mean, come on, if you can work 25 hours a week, all right, teaching English or whatever it is, all right? Now, you don't have to, but I recommend it. Now, that kind of housing that you're going to get, for, again, $200 or less is really going to be depending on you and the city that you move into. Like I said, there are still places, available, like I showed you, all right, for that price. But in many cases and in many cities and in many areas, you're going to only be able to get like a small little efficiency, like a small little apartment, like just an apartment, okay? And apartments out here are called departamento, so it's department, whatever. Anyways, the point I'm making is that, a small apartment, a room in a house, or, roomies with somebody, or, things like that. Okay. And by the way, some of these are pretty good. You'll be surprised what you'll find out there. Right. But the point I'm making is that, you got to really strike gold, to be able to find, like a place like I showed you there, but they're out there. And again, depending on the city you go to, the more likely you'll be able to find things like that. And like I've shown you guys before in previous videos, there are ways in which you can find them yourself. Again, I've shown you, you can go to my website and check out all the free information I have there. All the videos are right there, and you can see for yourself, like how you can find, a place. You can start looking for a place. You can, okay. So, with this video, I already gave you all the tools, okay, to, get a job, okay, start finding cheap places to live, or affordable places to live. I give you an overview of what your real expenses are going to be, all of your real expenses. I even gave you a budget, an overrun, okay? So we went from 525 budget and we went to 600, and then I gave you, potentially, making more, having more. So I give you everything. I don't know what else. What else can I do here? What else can I give you? What else can I talk about here? So what we're going to do now is that we're going to leave it to you guys in the comments, all right? I'm going to let you guys in the comments, let me know what did I miss. Also, please, for anyone in the comments that's already watched this whole video and you might be living in Mexico already, and perhaps you can share with the audience, what your expenses are, so that other people can get an idea of, again, what your expenses are and what part of Mexico you're in. Don't give exact address, just I live in Baja, I live in, our Acapulco, whatever, and just give your expenses. And it doesn't matter what they are, whether they are over 525 or under 525. Let's see if anyone out there in the audience can beat under 525. I would love to see that. That'd be awesome. But again, 525, 600, that's not too much, for anyone out there, I don't think. And if you're on whatever retirement you're on, I think, you'll be fine. Again, it's up to you, what your expenses really are and what kind of life you really want to live. That's really going to determine whether it's enough or not. All right. But it's definitely enough. All right. And I've talked about it many times. I've shown you many times, my older videos, I showed you everything. But here we are, we're now here in 2023. We're moving into 2024, and the exchange rate is probably going to be somewhere around here. If it gets any worse, well, you already know how to compensate for that. We kind of already, talked about that a little earlier today, and you can just figure that out. So with all that being said, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of like planning this video out, and I just said, I was off the cuff, I just said, I'm just going to record, and here we are, and I think we got a pretty good show. Please let me know down below whether you liked it or not, whether this was helpful or not, whether you enjoyed it or not. It really helps. All the comments, all the likes, everything you guys can do helps at all. All of it, with that being said, I want to give a big shout out and a big thanks to all my patrons, all my members out there, every single one of you guys that leaves a super chat, that sends me $5, $10, through PayPal, through the Cash App, Bitcoin, whatever it is you guys send. I love you guys. You guys are the best. I appreciate you guys to the max. And, again, everyone else out there that, you simply maybe watch a commercial, an ad, or again, you don't even do that, but you simply leave a like. You share the video. That's amazing. You leave a comment. So good. Appreciate it. You guys are all the MVPs out there. And again, for any new viewers out there, please, if you've made it this far, check out my website. Check out my web page, my other videos. Check everything out. Okay, I got tons of free information for you. And if all that information is not enough, book a one-on-one video call with me, and I'll guide you through everything. I'll talk to you about anything. And again, most of the questions I've already answered in one shape, form, or another, and they're all over my channel. Again, I try to make it as easy as possible, for you to find them on the playlist, made playlists and all that stuff. But, at the end of the day, if you just want that information right away, you can just, book a consultation and just send me an email and we'll go from there. So with all that being said, I want to give a big shout out to all of you guys. You know who you are. To all of you guys, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate you guys. So you already know the deal, all right? If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit the bell icon, but more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.